So now that I, of course, completed Tiger King and that was awesome, there's other docuseries out there, and while we're all kind of trapped in the house, might as well do some more researching on the good old serial killer topic. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, I'm here today to review for you the documentary series on FX, The Most Dangerous Animal of All. So The Most Dangerous Animal of All is a documentary series on Hulu, I believe, because it's through FX and, legality stuff. And it follows a man named Gary Stewart. Now, Gary Stewart was an orphan, and he was trying to track down his family, and while tracking down his family, he came across some things that he didn't necessarily want to come across, and started finding out that possibly his father is the Zodiac Killer. Now, as many of you know, in my spare time, I'm quite an amateur criminologist, if you will. I really am fascinated by true crime, just kind of how somebody could become that evil and, just that kind of thing. And one of the ones I look into and research the most is, in fact, the Zodiac Killer. Because there's something about the Zodiac Killer that draws people in, mostly because he was never caught. And no, it is most definitely not Carol Baskins or Ted Cruz. And so, there's a lot of people's theories of who it could be. There's a lot of very compelling evidence for a lot of people. And this was originally a book by Gary L Stewart that he broke it down in a lot of detail, honestly, about how he believes that his father is, well, the Zodiac Killer. And there are some things that are very, very interesting, whether it be when the Zodiac was doing crimes that Earl Van Best Jr. dropped off the grid, and they basically will do like a side-by-side timeline. Like there's a photograph where they basically broke down important events in the lives of Earl Van Best Jr., Gary Stewart's biological father, and the Zodiac. And, there's a massive gap in Earl Van Best. And then that is when the Zodiac stuff takes place. And it's stuff like that that's so fascinating and so compelling that you can't help but wonder. Now, that being said, there has been a lot of scrutiny over Gary Stewart's book because there are certain things that are a little bit inaccurate. Is Earl Van Best Jr. the Zodiac? Well, I'll let you decide for that, but in my opinion, no. But if he was, it wouldn't surprise me because, frankly, he's a more likely candidate based on a lot of the evidence than Arthur Lee Allen was, who Robert Graysmith drugged through the mud forever. So it's one of those things that it could really go either way, but they leave it up to you. Now, that actually is one of my criticisms of this docuseries, because it's not perfect, not close. It's a good documentary series that really is more, in my opinion, about Gary Stewart finding this out and kind of becoming obsessed with the Zodiac case versus it being about his father. Because they omit a lot of stuff that's in the book. Like, this is a 4-part docuseries, and it probably could have been 7 parts. Because they leave out all sorts of stuff, whether it be about Rotea, or even just some of the instances where Earl Van Best did in fact actually have interactions with certain people of the Mansons. And it's like they just kind of allude to it. They never go into detail, and the book did. So I recommend reading the book. The other thing that I have to say is a criticism is that The Most Dangerous Animal of All, 3 of the episodes, they lay it on thick that Earl Van Best Jr., without a doubt, is the Zodiac Killer. And they basically throw it at you that any jury in the world probably would have said he's guilty. Then they do one whole episode basically saying Gary Stewart is full of crap the entire episode. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, if you're trying to sell this and you're trying to say, okay, he is the Zodiac Killer, maybe have some concerns about maybe certain elements of the case, but they just flat out, like, there's certain things where it's like, nope, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, which, to its credit, some of it was, and some of it, if you read the book, it would have had a little more connotation to it, but there's certain things that they do, and I'm like, that feels so like disingenuous to what they were selling. It made no sense, and it really hurts the documentary series in a way. It's almost like if I were to recommend this to someone, I would almost recommend, be like, only watch the first 3 episodes, don't watch the last one, because it doesn't make sense, because they're just throwing shit at him about this whole entire thing, and yet they're still showing him being like, oh yeah, see here, we have proof here that this could be it, this is very, very close evidence right here, there's this, and then they just randomly will cut away to being like, he's full of crap! It just didn't work for me, and that last episode just kind of leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth, and it almost turned into a snuff piece where you're just trying to just ruin a man, and that wasn't really the point. Is this the best docuseries out there? No. Is this the best documentary or docuseries about the Zodiac Killer? Hell no. Is this is this an interesting perspective on the killer, or like who Earl Van Best Jr. is and Gary Stewart is? Absolutely. It is worth watching. But I wouldn't go out of your way. It's not like Tiger King or something like that where I'm like, no, you need to watch this. This is just alright. It's filmed well. There are some dramatic recreations that work pretty well for it. It's solid through and through, except for just a couple problems that are big, glaring problems. And I feel like it's stuff that could have been fixed if people just went, wow, you just, like, nobody audited this? I don't know. So I rate a lot of the TV shows differently, as you know, so I'm just gonna go on The Most Dangerous Animal of All is a 3 out of 5. It's fine, but I'm not gonna tell people that it is the best documentary series about the Zodiac, because it's just not. But it is interesting, and if you aren't familiar with the Zodiac case, it probably will hook you on the Zodiac case. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, did you guys enjoy The Most Dangerous Animal of All? Are you gonna watch it? Do you believe that Gary L Stewart has some merit to his claims? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to you. Love you guys.